Okay, it's 1 o'clock. We're going to call the meeting to order. Stand for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So, community and commissioner comments. The purpose of the board meeting is to conduct business of the district. The board welcomes comments. If an individual or group is disrupting the meeting, the board chair has the discretion to remove them from the meeting. Comments regarding specific staff will not be allowed during public meeting. RCW 9A.76.180, intimidating a public servant, and RCW 9A-84-030, disorderly conduct. So did you receive any public comments by email, Rachel? One from today.
Point of order. Did you distribute the correspondence to the members of
The commissioner packet?
Yes.
Yes.
So
She did.
when you asked her that question, they already came in.
We received a copy in our emails, yes.
So you guys, the board members all have.
Correct.
We don't have a copy, though, of the commissioner comments if they were submitted, if that's what you're asking.
That's what I asked.
No, I have not received anything.
Commissioner comments?
Sorry, community comments. Yeah.
So that's what I just asked Rachel. We haven't received any besides one that was just dropped off today as a new community comment for this meeting. So if there was one, she would have emailed to us. We have to have it 24 hours in advance.
RCW 42.30.240, except in emergency situation, the governing body of a public agency shall provide an opportunity at or before regular meetings at which final action is taken for public comment. And then it also goes on to say if people can't make it or if they're handicapped, they can email, but you have to allow it according to.
Okay, so we got our information from the Attorney General's office. That's who we spoke to, and that's where this came from.
I
So-
doubt it, but
Yeah, I doubt it.
very clear. Recommendation or a will.
Okay, we're going to move on to.
So I'd like to add to
Commissioner
that.
comments.
Audience participation. Although the board must meet in an open public meeting, the meeting remains a meeting of the board. The public has the right to provide public comment at any meeting at which the board takes final action. The board can provide for public comment either by including a public comment time on the agenda or provided a copy of the written public comments. Most boards will place time limits on public comment and will prohibit public comment outside of the designated public comment time. Now that's under the Fire Commissioner Handbook. Since people had submitted and we did not receive them, I think that we should open it up for public comment.
So nobody So as I stated, nobody had submitted a public comment to our email.
Well, this right here,
That was just submitted today.
that was submitted yesterday at 10:35 a.m.
Our secretary said she did not get that in our email.
Yeah, but it says right here, emailed mcfd12ems@gmail.com, January 15th at 2020, time at 10:35 a.m., which would be within the time frame.
Email, because I have yet to receive a single email from your department after all of the requests that I have.
actually have been working on it.
But you have never responded that you received them. You've never responded that the email is working. Nothing.
Same matter how the email not working.
And nobody we don't know if that's even been fixed, because you never say, yes, I received your document.
You guys don't do anything.
Email was fixed, and when I told you guys it wasn't working, I got the same exact response. It is working now.
As of what date and time is it
The
going?
meeting that she said you know was fixed, I have to go back and check it.
I emailed my phone.
It's right here. And fax two. In my opinion, I think we should open it up.
How long until those positions are up for grabs for
Will you
somebody?
please stop with the comment outburst, please?
I raised my hand.
We're not having public comment. I asked you to please submit them by email, which we've been doing.
This is what I want to ask about. Would you please clarify what you're doing with the public comments and your reason of doing this? Because nobody's seen any results. Nobody's seen any answers to them. And so there's anything to a blank slate. Nothing is happening with them. And that's very, very frustrating in our part when you see people getting upset. It is all for what you are doing or not doing. You're not being courteous at all.
Because you should print them all, and you should read them all at every meeting. Because you're not gonna let us comment, you make us email, and then you don't acknowledge any of them, and you don't read any of them, and you should print them all and read them at the meeting.
So according to the Attorney General, we have to receive them, and they get passed out to each commission, each
Kelly, and they were
commissioner.
emailed to you guys on January 15th at 10:35 a.m. So you guys all have that.
9/11/23, I called you for an application. I never heard nothing about it. And I thank you.
So you're talking about legal stuff.
I am not willing to open it for public comment. What do you think?
You don't have no choice to follow the law.
We cannot hear when you guys continue to outburst. Can you please stop, Shirley Brown? Then I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
You make me move. This is our final. I do not play.
Is there any commissioner comments?
Yes. So I guess since we're not going to have public comment, I do have some commissioner comments. So, thank you for everyone for showing up. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for the support. So, I'm going to start my comments. After the first of the year, once I was officially seated as fire commissioner, I have not been contacted by anyone within the district. It is frustrating to me since you all have known since November 28, 2023, when the votes were certified, that I would be the next fire commissioner for position number 2. I had to get the chief's phone number from a friend who just happened to have the number. I texted chief so that I can get my access codes and keys for each station, and requested that the district secretary direct email address. I still have yet to get my access codes as of today. I was able to email address format. I inquired to the secretary if we had any legal counsel and requested the name and contact information. Still have not received an answer.
Nick, can you just get your phone away from that microphone?
Oh, yeah.
Please.
On 1/11/24, I sent an email of items to be placed on the agenda, and the following were the ones that did not make it: internal investigation / SAO fraud investigation, outcome, status, and legal action if applicable, community comments for in-person, legal counsel, Article 8, Section 7 of the Constitution. I insist that the board retake action regarding this motion for legal counsel. The appropriate coverage for defending commissioners' actions while in office is a director's and officer's insurance policy. It is an illegal use of public funds to pay for criminal defenses for individuals. Any attorney that knowingly accepts taxpayer dollars from any acts of misfeasance or malfeasance, they should have no need for legal counsel outside of what a D&O policy would provide. I've also requested a meeting time change or discussion because it does not fit my time for it to be at 1 o'clock. I also have just a little bit more, but yes, thank you. Okay, so according to the Fire Commissioner's Handbook, page 11, the board may act on any item of business at a regular meeting regardless of whether such action is identified on an agenda. I ask that we as a board amend the meeting agenda to add the topics I have discussed so that we may address these to clear up any confusion. End of my comments.
So Nick, on your comments, you stated that you sent her, what was your,
Okay, but now I want to add that. Internal investigation was on there, but I'm going to also add SAO investigation. Or fraud report.
Information needs to be added to the website too.
And I did add actually a section for fire commissioners volunteering. I wanted to address that as a resolution because I don't believe we have a resolution
we do?
to support that. We do?
Mhm.
Okay, can I see it?
Sure.
Can we get it? Resolution that's not signed. Okay.
That's a copy out of,
Resolution authorizing commissioners to serve as volunteer firefighters of the district. Resolution.
on the bottom. The last.
Yeah, so this 9th day of February 2012, which I was a commissioner then. I don't recall this ever being there. Plus, there's no signatures, so this is invalid.
That was actually brought in by Terry Woods.
What's that?
If there's no signature, there's no validation.
You have to change, you have to bring it before the board every time there's,
They may hand out papers.
because it has to be unanimous by 3 commissioners. Or you can just,
It was, actually, you were chief then, right?
yes, I
Can I
would.
see that resolution again?
And we did have
And
it.
I believe Mr. Page in the back was commissioner then as well.
And that is a valid one, but it's 2012. It should have
want
been
it?
looked at,
No.
like when Buck was on there. It should
I-
be looked at again when Justin's come on. I mean, every time there's a new commissioner, that has to be looked at because it takes all 3 commissioners in agreement. It can't just be 2. It takes all 3 according to state law.
And I put that too because it falls under the RCW 52-14-010, which is the same as the commissioner stipend. And I'd also like to add that I also did turn in, prior to the meeting, my, let me get it actually. I'll just read it out loud. I, Nicholas Jones, Fire Commissioner, position number 2 for Mason County Fire District 12, waive the full amount of my Fire Commissioner compensation starting January 24th through December January 2024 through December 2024.
Did you give that to the secretary?
I did, prior to the meeting. And also, I gave the secretary my copy of my oath of office when I was sworn in. You're welcome. So are we going to add any of those to the agenda?
We can add them, yes, and discuss them.
Okay.
Do you have a list of them that we can see as well?
I do. Well, no, I actually don't have a copy. This is my copy. But we can
Okay.
write it down. So then we can add internal investigation / SAO fraud report, community comments, legal counsel, and a meeting time change. And then the volunteer as well.
This meeting. Okay, Rachel, we've got to get going with the meeting. So we're going to move on to the consent agenda. So I'm going to make a motion and we're going to have to move resolution 23 12/26 to table it for our next meeting.
Discussion, what is resolution?
That was for the time change of our meeting.
Okay. For the time change of our meeting, but we're going to talk about it this meeting, right?
We're-
So you said you made a motion?
So we're going to go to
Tabling
discussion.
it.
I'm going to withdraw my motion. We're going to discuss the time change.
Okay. So for me right now, if we discuss it, 4 o'clock would work better for me. I get off work at 3 and have EMT class at 6. So that would be the best time for me.
At 4 p.m.?
Yes.
Does 4 p.m. work for your schedule?
What would be a good time frame for everyone? Besides 1 and 2 o'clock. 3, preferably not 3 because that's when I get off work, but
I'm going to say we keep the meeting at the 1 o'clock time. That's what we just changed it to in December.
yeah, but you changed it without me here, so we didn't get to discuss my schedule.
Here. Isn't that the idea of a community fire department?
Can you please stop?
What if it was in the evening?
I'm, the 1 or 2 o'clock is what's going to work for me.
No.
4 o'clock.
What is your preference, 1 or 2 o'clock? Or can you do the 4 o'clock?
I can't do 4.
Okay.
What about 3?
Can we please stop?
Look up and see us.
It's okay, you guys. We'll get this taken care of.
What did you say for time?
How about 3? We could change it to Wednesdays. Does Wednesdays work for you guys?
At what time?
Anytime really on Wednesdays.
So can
But
we
after
keep-
3. After 3.
Can you please stop? This is the last time I'm going to ask him. Ask you to leave the building. So you want to do either the third Tuesday at 4 o'clock, or 3 o'clock, or Wednesdays after 3 o'clock?
Yeah.
Our meetings have never been on a weekend in Fire District 12. Okay, so so every other fire district in the county doesn't do a 7 p.m. meeting. Okay, so I'm gonna keep the meetings at 1 o'clock.
But where you are, out in the country, everybody works in the middle of the time to get home. Really? Come on, give us a chance.
Do you work later? Is that why?
I have another job after,
Okay.
then I have to be logged into my computer.
So will 2 o'clock work for you, or is it not gonna work at all?
I mean, I'm going to say no, but you guys are going to have to make a motion.
So I'm gonna make a motion that we keep our meetings the third Tuesday at 2 o'clock then. We'll go back to the 2 o'clock meeting time. I made a motion to
She made a motion. Cinda did second,
We
but
can't hear
she
because
can't.
you guys continue.
She is.
We haven't got that far. I made a motion to keep the meeting the third Tuesday at 2 p.m. Cinda seconded the motion. All in favor of the motion?
No.
Aye. All opposed?
Oppose. Nay, if that's the proper way to say it.
So would you like to discuss your volunteering and commissioner?
Oh, yeah, I just think that we need to have a resolution on file that allows commissioners to be volunteers.
An updated resolution?
Because that's what the rules say. But you are entitled to the benefits that volunteers receive, like insurance, retirement.
So according to our handbook, Nick, that you got a copy of today, page 16, it says service as a volunteer. So when serving as a volunteer, the commissioner is entitled to receive the same benefits provided to all volunteers, but is not entitled to time spent serving as a volunteer.
But if you reference, let's see, where it is, I have it here.
And it's not just District 12 that has.
I had it here. I'll just bust out my phone. RCW 52.14.010. Says the board shall fix the compensation to be paid the secretary and all other agents and employees of the district. The board may, by resolution adopted by a unanimous vote, authorize any of its members to serve as volunteer firefighters without compensation. A commissioner actually serving as a volunteer firefighter may enjoy the rights and benefits of a volunteer firefighter. So I entertain that someone make a motion.
Does it state in there no compensation?
It says no compensation, correct.
So these items that you just threw on here, none of us had time to go over any of that prior to this meeting.
Okay.
You didn't send it to any of us. You
I
sent
did.
You sent it to
Actually,
myself?
I sent it to the secretary, who said she forwarded it to you.
Okay. And so did you send it to our other commissioner as well?
I don't have her email,
Okay.
and nor do I have yours.
Okay.
You change them right now.
That'd be a good thing, wouldn't it? Maybe phone numbers too.
I'm not giving out my personal cell phone number to the community.
On your website, just I've been on a month ago or whatever, that time, yeah.
Oh,
You don't-
this,
it's
okay,
an
yeah,
email.
yeah. I'm like, wait, notes, no.
No, it's an email.
It is an email address, not a note.
No, you have to write yours down for him. A motion on this today. Were you making a motion?
Yes, I will make a motion that, I make a motion that fire commissioners are not allowed to be volunteer firefighters with Fire District 12.
Is there a second? Nick, can you restate that exactly?
I make a motion that Fire District 12 have no volunteer firefighters that are commissioners. Pretty much the same thing, right? Yeah.
So you made a motion that no Fire District 12 commissioners can be volunteers with the department.
Correct.
Okay, do we have a second? The motion is not carried. You just made a motion.
Resolution has to be voted on. And it has to be unanimous.
Does everybody have time to review your commissioner minutes? Your motion wasn't carried.
It wasn't carried. Okay, so
There was no second.
I make a motion that we table this for the next meeting.
Motion to table for the next meeting. I'll second your motion.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. On to our regular minutes from December. Is there any questions? Nick, do you have any questions on the December meeting minutes?
I don't have any questions, but I don't agree with a lot of it.
Records request at the December meeting, that's 30 days ago, and I've not received a single response. You have 5 days to respond.
What's that, Rachel?
I responded to that statement, so informing you guys, so about records because there's always the
My point is, when I submit a public records request, you have 5 days to contact me and tell me either you're going to give it to me or when you're going to give it to me. That's what the law says, that's what the Attorney General would say. You never, ever do that. You don't have
Okay,
30
Rachel,
days.
we're gonna stop. I'm gonna make a motion to approve the December meeting minutes as written. All in favor? All opposed?
I'll say aye, but I don't. It doesn't mean I agree with it. I just attest to that the accuracy of what the meeting was saying before.
Can I ask a question?
We're not taking questions at this time.
Well, can we hear that third commissioner, please? Thank you.
So we have vouchers number 1 through 7 for a total of $8,230.34. So on here, we have Hood Canal Communications, we have 2 for MaceCom, we have Mason County PUD, we have Tozer's, and 1 for Kelly Walsworth for $66.77 for Gmail. So on this voucher slip, there's 2 for MaceCom. Rachel emailed with MaceCom, and it's because there was an error on that part of it. So they're gonna send over the second quarter, and instead of waiting, we'll pay first and second quarter at the same time. And all, they're, I don't know. What's that? So it's vouchers 1 through 7 for $8,230.34.
So I make a motion that we amend the consent agenda for vouchers 1 through 7 to the dollar amount of $7,082.36, which takes away the second charge or second dispatch fee, and we can pay that at a later date.
So you want to void that check and reissue a new one at a later date?
Yep. There's no need to pay it twice right now until we have proof until I have supporting documentation. So I did look at a lot of it, and I verified the PUD bill is good. The Tozers, yeah, sure. Thank you.
Nobody else?
Correct.
Thank you, appreciate that.
The Hood Canal Communications, actually, I do, since
Yeah,
I
she
did
just
get an
emailed it.
email. An explanation would be nice of, we have 2 phone lines?
No, we have just the internet and the phone line.
Okay, I'm gonna take that.
Just take one line, so maybe you can
So I see a business telephone of 360-426-4976.
I think one of those was the fax number, and that's what it's always been.
And then there's
There's
360-426-0451. So you got the business telephone and then
one
the
was a
fax
fax.
number. And then the
Correct.
internet PUD. And then it looks like we have a previous bill, so we have, okay. Okay, from what I see, it looks good. And the PUD looks good, Hood Canal Communications, besides that second
Base
COM. Trauma, EMS Trauma Council, I saw that, that looks good. Now the Gmail account, what is that?
That's our district email.
District email, okay. And that can't be transferred out of your name into the
It
district?
most certainly can.
Okay, after we make a motion, or after the motion is finalized, I recommend that we change that email account so that it's out of your name and in the district's email.
So I'm gonna make a motion, we approve the vouchers.
Wait, I already have a motion on there to amend the agenda, or to amend the vouchers. I just haven't heard a second.
Did you get his motion, Rachel? Did you get Nick's motion? Can you restate your motion, please?
Yep. To pay only $7 for Macecom.
I'll second your motion.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nice, yeah, fix that.
Oh, yeah, yep.
I don't have anything on here for consent agenda, anything else.
Okay.
So we can go ahead and move, we don't have an executive session scheduled. I don't know if it's a computer. So we have old business, break-in of theft of the Connex.
Yeah, so I'd like to request a list, or actually not request, I want a list of everything that was reported stolen. Do you have that list? Not on you, okay. Any status of it? Did you guys report it already with the stuff that were
So
reported
we're
stolen?
currently working with the sheriff's office for an updated police report, because that's what our insurance needs, and then the list of everything that was taken out of the Connex. And once he has,
Okay. Now,
And he needed-
have the sheriff's office received a copy of what?
I believe it was on Thursday or Friday, he was getting the information for our insurance so he could communicate, send it straight to them. With the updated, because the insurance requests an updated report, because the initial report just had that it was broken into and he was awaiting the itemized list.
Okay. Yeah, when was that?
I don't have the date right in front of me. Convenient, yes, I know.
Was it mid-November, wasn't it? Is that, whoever asked for that, mid-November?
At 10:05 a.m. No, you're not. It was discussed at a past meeting.
Do you have that list in your email? No. Anyone have the ability to email that to me right now?
We can get it from the sheriff, or from the insurance and send it to you. Or just get it and send it to you.
Okay.
What was the time and date for the break-in?
11:13.
Time.
I just said 10:05 a.m. is when the sheriff,
10:05
that's when the,
Okay, so I make a motion that we table this for further discussion for the next meeting, until we get the list of items.
it's just in a discussion, it's not an
Yeah,
action
yeah.
item. So public records request, Rachel? The one you said you were working on? Okay, and when do you expect to have that? Today? Tomorrow? Okay.
May I also ask,
So how many open records requests do we have? Yes. Ongoing, okay. Any over a year old? Because I did one myself in December 16th of 2022 and still have yet to receive anything.
Well, I have to find out when I first started, and when I actually and then the chain was break off. I lost stuff in it. I picked up what I left off. So last time I
so we're gonna stop this back and forth. Rachel?
Okay.
Thank you for,
Yeah, so I would like to add, though, that Greg Seals has offered to help you if you need anything in helping you get everything completed. Okay.
you offered to help her with public records requests?
Yes. Help fulfill them and get them taken care of.
Okay, so new business. We have the SAO audit. So we're currently getting ready to go through the audit. Myself and Rachel met with the auditor last week. We meet again. Right.
Yeah, do we have that information?
So
I'd like that.
we'll have the information
as
tomorrow
well.
on who our auditor is going to be, because
Okay.
that's what our meeting is to this, who's actually going to be performing the audit.
I also request that I'd like to be the point of contact in this matter.
So I've already established, we've already started working with them, I have.
Okay.
So,
Well, I'd like to definitely get updated. I would definitely like to be updated weekly, at least, if not daily, of the status. And if there's anything they need help with, definitely get. Okay.
but she can send you an email tomorrow after our meeting and let you know.
Okay.
Then volunteer application, you had a question about that?
Yeah, are there any volunteer applications pending?
Myself, I've never received one.
You've never received
I was
any?
going to talk to Ronnie about it after the meeting to find out, because I've never received yours. If we can talk about it afterwards, okay?
And,
So Brian, that's gonna have to be an after.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for after the meeting.
What did,
I'm wondering where the trainings take place?
that's not volunteer application. That's,
It is, but it's about, you're correct, but it's about volunteers. And volunteer applications, people want to know where they get to go train at.
okay, so do you want to,
Oh, where and what time would be nice, and when.
so on our agenda, we have volunteer application. I'm not saying he cannot answer your question. I'm just saying we're gonna stick to our agenda. So volunteer application, is that something you
Okay.
can talk to him about?
Yeah, we could talk about that after. Okay.
Bill at Senex. Fuel bill down at Senex.
No, we don't have a fuel bill at
Well,
Senex.
there's a bill at Senex.
No, we don't even have a Senex.
Go back through this again and I'll bring it in here.
Okay.
Because it's a $2,500 charge that was posted for fuel, and Senex doesn't have fuel pumps.
I don't even know what Senex is. We don't have a Senex.
Reserve of grains and mine.
It's the one out of Shelton. Or
Okay,
Napa,
so
it's Napa, was the charges for Napa was for fuel, and Napa doesn't have fuel pumps. So maybe we need to look
I
and
just
see
don't know
what the
what-
Napa charges were for the $2,500, I think is what it was. I went down to Napa to ask about the fuel pumps. They don't have fuel pumps.
We can put that on the next meeting agenda if that's,
For
yeah.
Senex in Shelton?
Yeah. Or is it, you said in Shelton?
Yeah.
Okay.
So on we have RCW 52-14-010. New updated handbook came out in January, which you got a copy in your packet. The stipend changed from the 125 to 157 per week.
Actually, to 157?
That's right here.
I thought I actually seen it was more than that.
So you're up, well, an annual cap of $15,072, so you're allotted more than however many meetings that allots.
Yeah. Let's see.
So 15. So it's 96 meetings a year you're allotted.
Okay.
Was that something different that you were talking
Oh,
about?
I thought it's something that's automatic, that there's no need for a motion for it.
Right.
It's just an automatic thing that the state does every year,
Not every year.
or every 5 years.
Yeah.
5 years? 5 years.
5. The last one was 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, last one was January of 18, this one's January of 24. There's quite a few changes in this book. The correspondence we just received at this meeting.
Oh, wait, are we gonna go over, legal counsel? Because that was one of the other things I wanted on there. No, we're not supposed to take questions. I would love to take your question. but I will listen to it afterwards. How's that? And then we can address it next meeting. Okay. So you said we're going to talk about legal. Earlier, there is no need for all the motions that were made to cover for the district to cover everyone individually or as a whole. Because we have the directors and officers insurance policy that our insurance will cover.
Okay.
But will not cover criminal charges.
Okay.
I have a couple motions that I'd like to make. I make a motion to pursue a D&O insurance policy instead, which provides legal representation and legitimate commissioner for legitimate commissioner purposes. Well, then if we already have it, then there's no need for a motion.
Would you like a copy of our insurance book?
Yes, definitely.
You have a packet already.
So our books are no longer printed out, it's all digital now from our
Digital.
insurance company,
That's
yes. Because the notebooks are,
Yeah, big.
yeah.
And then I do have another motion, but I want to make sure I word this right. And this is part of the legal counsel. So I make a motion that any commissioner or volunteer that is charged for criminal acts be, be put on not administrative leave, but suspension pending.
So I make motion that any commissioner charged with criminal act put on suspension.
Or any volunteer or officer
So you're gonna make a,
without pay.
so you're gonna amend your motion to say any volunteer or commissioner?
Yeah, I'll amend that, yeah. Charged and then be suspended until an outcome. Investigation is complete.
So you're gonna make a motion, any commissioner or volunteer charged with a criminal act put on suspension?
Be put on suspension
Okay.
pending investigation until the completion of said charges. Yeah, but there's no pay, so.
So we didn't have that as an action item on our agenda. So do we have a second for?
Yeah, but we added legal counsel, so we amended the agenda
Okay.
to go for that.
Okay. Do we have a second for Nick's motion?
I mean, you should second it, because unless you feel like you're gonna be charged or guilty, or you feel like you're guilty. I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Do we have a second for Nick's motion? Can we please, I'm gonna ask you to leave, please, thank you, yes. Will you continue to disrupt our meeting? I'm gonna ask you to leave the building. The sheriff isn't here on official, well. I didn't say he was. I'm gonna ask you to leave the building.
There is a motion.
Correct, there is a motion. We have a second for Nick's motion. Was there anything else you had for the agenda, Nick?
Nope.
So correspondence, Rachel, is it just what you received today from Virginia? What's that? Did you get a
Point
copy
of
of this?
order under correspondence,
Okay.
Kelly. Point of order, the last meeting, you promised me in the public meeting, you would email me the name of the attorney for this district. You have not done that. Will you please tell us who that attorney is?
And I requested the same information. I haven't
You
gotten
said
it.
it,
Do we have legal representation?
Not at this time, we do not.
Okay.
So go ahead for a chief's report.
All right, so we got an EMS grant for $766. That's strictly for EMS. We're updating our ILA with Mason County Works for the maintenance and subs of vehicles. We're having to rekey our stations due to our previous locksmith passing, and he's one that has the codes to be able to do this. Last year, we had 235 calls, and December, we had 11 EMS calls and 1 fire call.
Did you review the agreement with Mason County Public Works?
Oh, yeah. I got a little bit. Actually, yeah, I forgot about that. Forgot we weren't done. Okay, so is this for whatever we contract or service to them? And fuel and as well?
This is for all maintenance and fuel.
Okay.
And in this one, it states that they're updating all of their contracts.
Are these updated yearly?
No.
No.
I don't know how often they're updated.
Just whenever they have changes?
I would assume so. I don't know that we've had an update since Mike was here.
And what's the snowplow services that you were talking about? Is that something they offer?
No, they're offering to put a snowplow on our rigs so we can plow the roads, from my understanding. It's not something I'm looking into. The statement of this ILA seems is placing all damages and such on the department. I don't think that's something that we want to incur.
Plus, we'd have to probably see if our insurance would cover something like that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable
And I believe you have-
addressing that portion of the ILA.
And I believe you have to go have special training. I believe West Mason just got theirs, and I think North Mason I've seen.
I don't know that they even have completed the training last time.
I believe they have, because I believe
I
they
believe
took
they
us
have,
back in
because I know
session.
that they had a session where they were training volunteers with the
Yeah,
department.
it's not,
At the county shop.
yeah.
Yep.
Did you have any other questions on this?
Nope.
Did you have any questions on this? So if there's no other question on this, and our local and our chief signed it. Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It's a renewed contract through it's an interlocal agreement between Mason County and Mason County Fire District 12 for Public Works Department reimbursable work, supplies, and services. So it's just a contract through Public Works to say that, you gotta pay for fuel and just,
Or vehicle
or any
maintenance.
vehicle maintenance.
Okay. No, for pump work you're talking about, that's gonna go out still. They don't do the pump work there. That's gotta be specific. This is for any other maintenance, basic maintenance. And I believe they said that the fee is $90 an hour or something I believe is what it
It
said.
seems cheap, actually.
I believe it said it was $90 an hour.
Yeah, and they're looking to, I think, update that annually in the contract of,
I believe so. They should have their own records, and we should keep records too.
No records should be kept on vehicles in-house. So,
Yeah, if they do the work, my guess would they would have to keep records to justify.
so we're gonna have to have a baseline.
should have copies of them when they do work.
I don't know, the investigation that the commissioners hired, it stated right in there, at $120 an hour, the mechanic stated that he did not keep maintenance records in that audit. It's in there. So where do we start? There's gonna be a level of cost probably to establish inspecting all the equipment and seeing where it stands.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we'll see. I don't know
I
too
can
much
get
about it,
that
so.
out of that audit. I'll send that to you.
Okay.
I'll give you that.
I do recall that, but it sounds like that was not through the Public Works. So it sounds like we'll be going through Public Works, yeah.
In-house maintenance.
Brian,
Yes.
did you have anything about the brush truck?
Oh,
Can we please stop so we can continue on with our meeting? We are almost done.
the brush truck that we talked about the other day, it has gone down for maintenance. It's at Gillis right now. The white truck that you bought, the six-pack.
The brush
You know
truck.
what I'm talking about?
Brush 12
Yeah, we're using it as a brush truck now. But it's just some maintenance that went down with it, and we expect to have it back on Friday. EGR cooler leak,
Okay.
and the defrost control knob, or not knob, but the defrost actuator is back.
Now, is that a rescue as well?
No.
No. Okay, so just brush truck only?
Yes.
Okay.
Is there a chance we can get the mileage on our vehicles broke down when they're used and when they're gone? Because it just seems to me, I live over on Cougar Smith Road, I see an awful lot of vehicles driving up and down the road, and no lights are going, no nothing, and they're the fire department vehicles. I'm just wondering,
You pulled over.
I pulled over, what was I screaming?
I have no idea.
I wasn't screaming. My wife was with me,
You're
Kelly.
about to eat your lies, Kelly, because I don't want that enough.
Okay, so do we have any other for the meeting? I'm gonna make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 1:57 PM. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned at 1:57.